So former Packer James Jones was talking on Fox Sports' show Speak yesterday about his thoughts on the Packers heading to San Francisco to face off against the Niners in a divisional round. So here is what James Jones had to say.
Yeah, well, I hope the Niners is taking your mindset, because they should be on upset alert. And the reason why is a lot of people really, this year, Aaron Rodgers being gone, you really don't watch the Packers and Jordan Love like that. Really not a lot of primetime games and all that. So a lot of people wouldn't know that we got 7 first-rounders on our defense with 2 All-Pros. A lot of people wouldn't know that. You the corner, right? You watching film. What route you guarding on that Romeo Doubs ran?
I'm guarding that sail route.
You guarding the sail route. Now we running deep over. Now we running deep over. With a little hunt like we finna go back.
You better run the
back
deep
to the sail. You know
that right now. I'm undercutting it though.
And the reason undercut it if you want to, because then we're gonna hit you with the sail, right? So you still in the bind. But the only reason why I bring that up is because y'all got an offensive guru over there in Kyle Shanahan. We got one too in Coach LaFleur. So Jordan Love gonna be ready. People don't know we got a really, really young, really, really good receiver core. And the Cowboys found that out. Everybody want to look at it like, how's Stephon Gilmore getting beat one-on-one and Bland getting beat one? Them boys could play. Them boys is really good football players. They young, but they really good football players. But a lot of people wouldn't know that. And the Niners don't know that. So, once we step on the field, it is going to be a tough task. This is the second best team in football behind the Baltimore Ravens. We know it's going to be a tough task. But they can get the job done. And I truly believe, and I say it on national TV, we got the better quarterback. Jordan Love is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. We got the better quarterback, and he's going to play better than Brock Purdy, and they should be on upset alert.
Shady,
go. I'm going to say it again.
Shady,
So James Jones is rocking with the Packers, and I, for one, am as well. My prediction is Packers win this game 30-27, if you saw my score prediction video yesterday. And I just think it's interesting that last week, most people did not expect the Packers to beat the Dallas Cowboys, and then everyone sort of had to come around to the fact that, oh, wow, maybe the Packers are actually a legit threat. And I, for one, I did not see the pure dominance coming against the Cowboys as we did. I was hopeful that maybe this Packers team could put something together, but that was more than I could have imagined in my wildest dreams. And so now seeing that, I find it fascinating that people are still doubting the Packers as they are. They're 9.5-point underdogs versus San Francisco. 9.5 points. I think that because this is a young team and, in one big win against the Cowboys, everyone's like, okay, you see what they did there. But I think many think that can't happen again. And what if it does? What if it happens once again? What if the Packers go into San Francisco, the 49ers haven't played in 2 weeks, Brock Purdy hasn't played in 3 weeks, a few other players haven't played in 3 weeks. What if the Packers go into San Francisco and beat them once again? I don't think it's a crazy scenario, and James Jones seemed to believe that the Packers have a chance. And you have to give the 49ers credit. They're a very good team. I would say if it came to the Cowboys, I would rather face the Cowboys even before the playoffs started, just because there's that factor with Dallas where every season in the playoffs, they come up short. The Niners have been more successful. They beat the Packers far more often than the Cowboys have, and you see that with the stat that the Packers have now more playoff wins in AT&T Stadium than the Dallas Cowboys themselves. That shows you just how dominant the Packers have been against the Cowboys. But I think that because this is a young team, people aren't yet quite accepting what the Packers did last week, and I understand it. You do need to see consistent success over years to really allow yourself to, I think, see a team in a certain light as one of the best teams. You look at the 49ers, they have so many weapons, so many guys who've been there for a few years. And so because of that, the entire, I think, perception in most people's minds around the NFL fans, NFL media, is that they are this legit threat. The 49ers are. The Packers, on the other hand, they could be. And what if we're just starting to see how dominant the Packers can be? And if they go into San Francisco and beat the Niners and look similarly to how they did against the Cowboys, I think the conversation needs to shift that, what if this Packers team is actually just better than all these teams? What if this Packers team has just as much talent? They may be younger. They may not be paying these guys a ton of money. This receiver core is incredibly young. But what if the same way that maybe we view the 49ers going in this season, midway through the season, what if that's who the Packers actually are? What if they are at the caliber level of the 49ers? And I understand, you want to be patient, and I, for one, am, willing to wait and see just how far this Packers team can go, because, I'm not sitting here saying that the Packers are the 49ers at this point, but it's a possibility, and it may just be that we're early here and that people are slowly coming around to just what the Packers can be. And I think we see what Jordan Love did. And if he does that again on Saturday night against the 49ers, the belief in the Packers, the belief in Jordan Love is going to reach another level, because if the Packers are playing in an NFC championship in Jordan Love's first year, I mean, my goodness, I can't imagine just the way that the talk is going to shift around the Packers, as it already has. As it already has, I think, when the Packers reached the playoffs. But at that point, most didn't see them as a really threat. But now to do what they did against the Cowboys, I do think lots of people are thinking that that was some kind of one-off performance, that, okay, the Cowboys had a bad day, the Packers beat up on them, but they can't do that against the 49ers. It's almost like the rational part of your mind wants to tell yourself that. And even before the Cowboys game, the rational part in my mind thought the Cowboys have been dominant at home. They've won on average by 21.5 points. There's that part of your brain that's like, I almost can't quite see how it could happen, even though I believe they would win. Because I think the Cowboys have shown us who they are in the playoffs, and that's not a very good team. They seem to crumble in those moments. So I had that hope, but also on the other hand, I saw there being a possibility of the Cowboys doing what the Packers did to them, and yet that's not what happened. And so I am incredibly excited for this game on Saturday night. I can't wait to see what happens, because I do think the Packers are still playing with house money, even though I believe in them, even though I think they can beat the Niners. No matter what happens, this is a successful season. The 49ers have all the pressure on them. They are the favorites by 9.5 points. They haven't played in a few weeks. And so just like I think the Packers were almost in a better position against the Cowboys last week because they were the underdogs. Most people were doubting them. And now the Packers are in the exact same position as they were last week. So I agree with James Jones. I do believe that the Packers are going to win. And I also agree with him. He mentioned at the end that the Packers have a better QB than the Niners. And I would have to agree with that. I do think it's interesting when you look at both teams. They both, of course, have the Shanahan-style scheme, with the Niners, having Kyle Shanahan, with the Packers having Matt LaFleur, who used to coach with Shanahan. And so it's going to be interesting to watch both offenses, because Brock Purdy, he's been incredibly efficient this season. He's been one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And I think when you look at Jordan Love, the way that the Packers run their offense, they obviously have a nice system where, they focus on the run, stay under center, run the play action pass, similar to the Niners. The Niners have a ton of weapons. The Packers now have a ton of weapons. And when I look at Brock Purdy and Jordan Love side by side, I think they're both very good now at reading defenses, very good at making wise decisions. Purdy hasn't had much of an issue with interceptions. There's been a few games, same with Jordan Love earlier in the season. But I think what Jordan Love has that Brock Purdy doesn't have is the crazy elite upside. We've seen the kind of throws that Jordan Love can make. He has a stronger arm. He's more athletic. He can make a lot more of those crazy throws. He can push the ball further down the field. And so that's where I think Jordan Love has the edge over a guy like a Brock Purdy. And maybe early in the season, you would say that Brock Purdy is better because he was being more accurate, making better decisions. But I think now, with what we've seen from Jordan Love the past 9 games, 21 touchdowns, 1 interception, I'd take Jordan Love every single day over Brock Purdy, and that's no slight against Purdy. I think he's a solid quarterback. He just does not have all the tools, the physical abilities that a guy like Jordan Love has. And so my trust is in Jordan Love. I think the Packers can have another upset here, and I would just love to sit there Monday morning. I like to watch some of these sports shows on TV to sort of see people's reactions to the Packers. And I was watching First Take on what day was that? Monday morning when the Packers won, and it's just fun to watch people have to come around to the Packers being really good. And I hope that we see the same thing on Monday. So it's going to be a fun game regardless. But that is it for this video. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.